Let's plan what I'm going to read for May. Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So today we are going to be spinning the wheel and playing the game board to figure out what I'm going to read for May. But before we get into that, let's talk about April. So on April's TBR, I had 6 books. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes. Okay, I didn't think I had them all here. I had 6 books. Okay, so I had, for the first prompt, which was from the Around the World game board, I landed on Passport, which was a friend pick. So my friend picked On a Coastal Breeze for me to read. I have read this one. Then the first wheel spin was a one-word title, and I picked Jennifer by D. Henderson, and I have read this one. Then the next spin was a reread from my bingo wheel, and it landed on One Final Breath. As you can see, at the time of filming this, which it is the 25th of April, I am still reading this, but I am just over halfway. So this will be done in the next 5 days. No big deal. Then for book number 4, the spin was a book over 400 pages. So I read Directed Verdict by Randy Singer, and I have read this one. Then the next prompt was a one-word title again, and I chose Missing by Lynette Eason. I have not yet read this one, but again, it is a shorter book, and I have 5 days to finish half of the other book and this book. I will get it done. Then the last spin was a sequel. So I picked up In Too Deep by Lynn Blackburn because this is book number 2 of a series. So it was a sequel. And I have read this one. So I want to say I finished my April TBR. Now, technically, I haven't finished it as of this moment, but it will be done by the end of April. So, going into May. So, before I get into that, so the prompts of one-word title, a rereads bingo wheel, over 400 pages, and a sequel will all be coming off my wheel for this month. And then the prompts that came off last month in March will be added back onto the wheel. So those prompts were: play another round of Katie's TBR game, a book released this year, to finish a series, a Goodreads random pick, and a new to me author. I have also added a few more prompts, so now I have exactly 40 prompts to put on my wheel. So once I take off some, I won't have 40 when I spin it, but I have 40. And so I've added some new ones, and we will talk about those if they come up. I'm not going to go through them because they might not come up. Okay, so for May, there is, I just printed off a black and white copy, but there is the Southern Charm Readathon going on for the whole month of May, and there was a bingo board created with 8 prompts, and the middle spot is a free prompt. And so this is being hosted by book lover Amanda, Chrissy's Purple Library, Read for the Sky, Pretty Little Paperbacks, Miriam Elizabeth Reads, and Lindsay Loomis. So I've kind of read through the prompts, but I'm not sure what books. I don't have books picked for the prompts. So once I get my books, I'm going to see if they can fit in any of those prompts. I think that's what I'm going to do. So for the month of May, my personal goal is I read all physical last month. Well, all but one were physical books. And right now I have Kindle Unlimited, and there are at least 3 books on there that I want to read now. And that my subscription is coming up for renewal at the end of May. So I'd really like to make May a Kindle month. We will see. We are also going away for vacation for a week, approximately a week, in May. So it would be nice if I could just take my Kindle with me rather than taking physical books. I'm okay with taking physical books, but it'd be that much easier if I could take my Kindle. So that is my goal, is to get as many Kindle books on my TBR as possible. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go set up the game board for Katie's Around the World game, and we will play one round of that. Okay, so this little post-it note is where I ended last round, and so I've got my little bus, my double-decker bus, and I've got the dice ready and the prompts. Okay, so let's roll and see where we're gonna go. I don't move very quickly. 1, 2. So we are on suitcase. So we got suitcase, which is to write down 5 books you are excited about and 5 that you're not so excited about, and then use a number generator to pick the book you are going to read. Okay, so I'm gonna follow this a little bit and not a little bit. Katie, please forgive me. So I am not going to use a number generator because I have my wheel open. So I'm just going to, I have the website open for my wheel. So I am going to bring up a new wheel, and I'm going to enter 5 books that I'm excited about and 5 books that I'm not so excited about. And then I'm going to spin the wheel and let it decide instead of using a number generator. I hope that's okay, but it's going to do the same thing, right? Okay, so 5 books that I'm excited about. Well, that's easy. I have decided on the 10 books that I have put on my spinner wheel. For the 5 books that I am most excited about, I have chosen In Her Sights by Karen Witemeyer. This is book number 1 of the Pink Pistol Sisterhood, I think it's called, and was released at the end of March, and I really want to read it, but I had to get my April TBR done, and I didn't, so I haven't read it yet. Then, book number 2 is Things We Didn't Say by Amy Lynn Green. I don't know a lot about this book other than it's by Amy Lynn Green, and I read the Blackout Book Club, which I absolutely loved, so I want to read this one. And my BFF called me the other day and said, hey, where are you on your TBR? And I said, and she's like, well, you need to stop, finish the book you're reading, and then I have a book for you to read. I want to add to your TBR. And I was like, you can't add me to my TBR. I'm not done yet. So I have not read it yet. And I told her I will get to it as quickly as I can. And that book is Things We Didn't Say by Amy Lynn Green. And when she called me to tell me this, she was on chapter 2 already. So it's made a good impression that she wants me to read it already. So then the number 3 is The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp by Sara Brunsvold. This one I've heard so many good things about, and I have it on my Kindle, so I want to read it. Then book number 4 is Dangerous Beauty by Melissa Koslin. Another book that I've heard so many good things about, and I really am interested and want to read it. Then book number 5 is The Happy Life of Isadora Bentley by Courtney Walsh. This is an upcoming release, comes out in June. I have an advanced reader copy of it, and it just sounds so fun, and I really like Courtney Walsh's writing, so those are the top 5 books that I want to read. So now the 5 books that I'm not so excited about, that was a lot harder to choose until I decided I pulled up my spreadsheet and looked at what books do I have on my Kindle and what books are the 5 oldest books that I've had on my Kindle. So that's what I chose, because they've been on my Kindle for so long, and you're talking 2012, 2013, and 2014. Apparently I haven't been that excited about because they've been sitting there for that long. Or they were released. I don't know when. No, those were purchase dates. Those weren't release dates. Those were purchase dates. Okay, so those books are Accused by Janice Cantore, Dead Lawyers Tell No Tales by Randy Singer, Breach of Trust by DiAnn Mills, The Prayer Box by Lisa Wingate, and Dangerous Beauty. No, too close of a name. Dangerous Passage by Lisa Harris. Now, I don't know much about these books at all because, I mean, they've been sitting there for so long. So, those are the 10 books. So, let's go to the wheel and see what book it's going to choose. Okay, so I have them up on here. So let's shuffle again. Okay, now let's spin and see what happens. And hopefully it's one of the top 5. Oh, please, please. Seriously. It was so close. Okay, so this is a book by Randy Singer. I have it marked as illegal. I bought it in 2013. That's basically all I know about it. Okay, so, wow. I'm a little disappointed. I will admit that, but that's okay. I mean, it's on my list. I've got to have it read at some point, right? And I've had it for 10 years. I don't know when I actually bought it. I bought it September of 2013, so almost 10 years. It's time to read it. Okay, so I have taken off the 4 prompts from last month, and I've added back the other ones, so I'm now at 36 prompts on my wheel. So let's spin to find out what book number 2 is going to be. A new to me author. A new to me author. And I want to read from my Kindle. And I want to read from my Kindle Unlimited if possible. So, yes, okay. I'm going to go with The Lady and the Lionheart by Joanne Biscoff. I recently heard Carmen talk about this book and she absolutely loved it. And I had previously had it on my wish list because like kind of interested in this. And then I wasn't really sure, so then I took it off. But then I heard her talk about it, so I added it back in. So it is a historical fiction set in Virginia in 1890. And it says, raised amid the fame and mystique of the Big Top, Charlie Lionheart holds the audience in the palm of his hand. But while his act captivates thousands, it's away from the spotlight where his true heart lies. Here he humbly cares for his pride of lions as if they were his own brothers, a skill of bravery and strength that has prepared him for his most challenging feat yet, freeing an orphaned infant from the dark bondage of a sideshow. A trade so costly it requires his life in exchange for hers, leaving him tarnished by the price of the choice. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. So, that is going to be book number 2. Okay, so let's spin for book number 3. Author A to Z. Okay, so I'm going to spin my alphabet wheel and try to find an author's last name that comes up with whatever letter. Okay, B. B. I think I know what book I want. Well, that is going to be The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp by Sara Brunsvold. Okay, so Aidan Kelly is a talented, ambitious, and ready for a more serious assignment than the fluff pieces she's been getting as a club reporter for the Kansas City Star. In her eagerness, she pushes too hard, earning herself the menial task of writing an obituary for an unremarkable woman who just entered hospice care. But there's more to Clara Kipp than meets the eye. The spirited septuagenarian may be dying, but she's not quite ready to cash it in yet. Never one to shy away from an assignment herself, She can see that God brought the young reporter into her life for a reason. And if it's a story Aiden Kelly wants, then that's just what Mrs. Kipp will give her. But she's going to have to work for it. I've heard so many good things about this. So I am excited to read it. Okay, let's go back to the wheel and spin for book number 4. Highest rated. Okay, it's my game, so I'm going to change this a little bit because normally it's going to be my highest rated on my want to read own list shelf on Goodreads, but because I want to read my Kindle Unlimited books, I'm going to pull up kind of those books and see which one of those ones is the highest rated. Okay, so we're back to this. So my highest rated for my Kindle Unlimited books is The Christmas Kiss by Shanna Hatfield. Do I want to read a Christmas book? And this is Harmond Holidays, which is book number 10 of the Harmond Holidays series. But I have read I read book number 9? I think so. It's saying I haven't read The Christmas Bargain. Yeah, I have. Yes, I have. Okay, I guess we're reading a Christmas book. We'll go with The Christmas Kiss. Because, yep, I've already changed it to make it Kindle Unlimited. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's spin for book number 5. Newest on TBR. Is it the newest book that I've added to my TBR, or is it the newest book that I bought or received, like that I physically own? The newest. Oh! Well, that's pretty talented of me. So I was going to say, the book that I added to my Kindle Unlimited today that I just realized came out, that is technically the newest book on my TBR. But when I look at my Kindle Unlimited wish list, like where I keep track of them, it says the item was added April the 26th, 2023. Today's the 25th, the day I'm filming this. So that's pretty talented, eh? Interesting. Okay, so that newest book is Half-Witted by Christy Barrett. This is book number 1 of the Squeaky Clean In Between Mysteries series. Wow, what a name, right? So she had a series, or has a series called Squeaky Clean Mysteries. And we followed Gabby as a crime scene cleaner and her friends. And I think that was the series that introduced me to Christy Barrett's writing, and I just absolutely loved it back in the day. And I've read that series, but I haven't read a lot of her spin-off stuff. So, yeah, we're gonna read this one, Half-Witted. So, crime scene cleaner Gabby St. Clair is used to dealing with the aftermath of crimes, not the dead people left behind. But she has bills to pay, so when an opportunity arises to make some extra cash, Gabby agrees to help an acquaintance transport a deceased man from his home to the mortician. However, before they can move the body, the corpse vanishes into thin air, and Gabby is left holding the bag. Okay. That's not the whole, but that's all I'm going to read. It says... Okay. So it says, each novella in the Squeaky Clean In Between Mystery series takes place between the books in the original Squeaky Clean Mystery series. So Half-Witted takes place between Hazardous Duties and Suspicious Minds, which is books 1 and 2 of the series. This could be a little confusing to read because I've already read the whole series, so I know kind of where Gabby ends up at the end. Well, Okay. Book number 6. And so far, the wheel isn't really helping my friend get her book on my TBR. Or get the kind of 2 that I really want to read on my TBR. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so this is one of the new prompts. Okay, so this will definitely be a physical book. So, library. My plan for this one is I am going to go into my church library at work and vlog kind of what the library looks like and stuff, and I'll do a whole vlog picking out a book of what I'm going to read and then kind of me reading the book and my thoughts on that book. So that will be its own video, is my plan. So that will obviously be a physical book because I need to go into the library and vlog about it. So I don't know what book that's going to be yet. I have looked at the library a few times, so I have ideas of what books are there. And there are kind of 2 that are really kind of the top that hopefully when I go to do this video, they will still be there and not checked out. But yeah, okay. So those are the 5 books that I know that I'm going to read for sure, with the kind of the 6th one will be an activity that I'm going to do and read a book. So, wow, okay. Not what I thought I was going to get on this TBR. So let's look at the Southern Charm Readathon, and can I get any of these books on that readathon? Can I get them onto that bingo board? Okay, so prompt number 1 is Bless Your Heart, an emotional or heartwarming book. I think The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp is going to be an emotional book. I think. I mean, the lady's dying, right? And she's being sent to write an obituary. I think that's going to be that one. Okay, prompt number 2 is Sweet Tea, a book with something sweet on the cover or a sweet story. Well, I'm hoping The Christmas Kiss is a sweet story. I don't know. None of these have anything sweet on the cover because, yeah, no. Prompt number 3 is Hot as Blue Blazes, a book with a hot setting. I don't know because I don't know the settings of majority of these ones. So that one will have to be determined. Prompt number 4 is Heavens to Betsy, a mystery or thriller that will shock you. Okay, well, Half-Witted by Christy Barrett is a mystery book and talks about the body disappears in the midst of transport. I think that's going to shock me. I mean, it's going to shock Gabby. Okay, then prompt number 5, sorry, I lost count, was All the Fixings, a book in multiple genres. Multiple genres. I don't know. So multiple genres could be like a dual timeline, right? So something historical and now romance and historical and romance, or is that really one genre? I'm not sure on that one. Okay. Chicken and Dumplings, a book that you think will be a comfort read. I think it's going to be The Christmas Kiss because book number 1 of that series, The Christmas Bargain, is one of my favorite books and is definitely a comfort read for me. So let's hope book number 10 of that series is too, other than it's Christmas in May. Okay, then prompt number 7 is, Hey Y'all, a book with more than one POV. Again, I don't know until I start reading them, so that one we'll have to wait and see what happens. Then the last prompt is Howdy Partner, a book featuring family or friendship. Well, if it's anything like the previous Hardman holidays, there is big friendship throughout all the books. So you're focusing on the kind of the main characters, but then like all the friends come in. So I'm gonna guess that one, but half-witted could be too, because again, the previous books have been friends working together to try to solve. So yeah. Or it could be the book that I get from the library that I'm not sure which book that's going to be yet. Okay, so I have no books to hold because they are all on my Kindle. And I didn't even bring my Kindle to my desk, so I can't even like hold up my Kindle to pretend. So those are the books that I am going to, or that are on my TBR for May. Some of them are, like one of them for sure is a novella, so hopefully I can get a few more books on my TBR. Because there's at least 3 books that I really, really want to read. And I also have another arc that comes out in June that I need to read. So yeah, hopefully May is a good reading month. So far April has been, so let's keep that going. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I would love it if you would like and subscribe to the channel, and let's chat in the comments below. What books are you planning on reading in May? Thank you. Bye.